everyone, welcome to my Hip Hop Self-Care Series, Season 1, Episode 2. Today we're going to talk about sleep. And I have a little mixed emotions about this episode, mainly because I struggle with sleep. It's not something that comes relatively easy to me. And I've learned that even through my research and practice, I still cannot get sleep down perfectly. And so I would have, of course, loved to be like, this is what I did and it's amazing and I have instant results, blah, blah, blah. It's not quite the case. But I have improved and there are some really cool things that I've learned. So I'm still really excited to share them with you. And I think I'm growing as a person. And so if I don't get things right away, of course, that's part of growing. And so I just hope that you guys can watch this with me and let me know what you think. And if you do practice these things, and if you even just pick one thing that I have learned, I think I have 8 tips. Okay, 8 tips of things that I do to help me sleep better at night. And if you just even pick one thing and it helps you a little bit, that makes me so happy. Okay, so if you don't already know, I'm doing a self-care series. Season 1 is about physical self-care. Season 2 will be about mental. Season 3 will be about emotional. And Season 4 will be about environmental. And it's so funny, as I'm only on episode 2 of Season 1, right? And I'm getting ready to finally go into the more mental and emotional things, but I know we're not ready yet. We still have a lot more to go for physical. So I'm just I can't wait to get a little bit deeper. But all right, so as for now, bedtime. I used to I'm going to talk a little bit about my background as far as sleep goes. And I used to sleep like a rock all the time. Sleep was never a problem for me. Although it was when I was in elementary school, and I think at that time I was going through a lot of stress. And so at that time I do remember I had trouble sleeping and I went to a doctor. This was also in middle school as well. And I did take a sleeping pill because I couldn't sleep. And then in the mornings it would be so hard for me to wake up. And which is kind of what I deal with right now when I can't sleep at night. So it was affecting my school life and everything. So my mom took me to the doctor and they realized I had a few things wrong with me. Maybe I'll talk about that later, about my health as a child. But this isn't therapy class, so we're not going to get into it right now. Unless you want to, you can comment below and say you want to hear about my issues as a child. Okay, so fast forwarding about a few years, when I was 16, I started working, and at 16, 17, 18, all the way up to probably 25, I slept so good. And maybe 24. But yeah, I was living an active lifestyle. I was pretty happy, positive. I didn't really have anxiety issues. I did have anxiety issues. I just didn't realize that they were anxiety issues. So I was really, really good at pushing them back and not even being aware of them. But I just remember sleeping. Oh, there's Trixie. She loves that plant. Tweet, get away from that plant. She thinks it's a salad. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so I fell over. God. Okay, I'll clean up the dirt later. But anyways, so I was super active, healthy, and I fell asleep like a rock. And I slept until the morning, and I'm so jealous of my old self. Now that I don't have that, I know how great that was. And then ever since I got married, and it's not Jerry's fault, I just don't know why, but I just haven't been able to sleep as well. And I do think it's a part of it is just getting older and just dealing with anxieties of life. And yeah, they say if you have anxiety problems or even depression, those kind of things happen in your mid to late 20s. And here I am, I'm 20, how old am I? 27? 26 years old. And so, now's the time for me to get, for these issues to come up. So yeah, so I figured as part of our self-care series, bedtime and sleep is huge, because if you don't sleep well at night, you're going to be a zombie in the day and you can't get things done and you're not taking care of yourself. So I felt sleep was very, very important. So that's why I put it on as number 2. But it is a very difficult case to take on. So I do think it's going to take more than a week. I'm going to think this is going to take a month. So I'm just going to keep on practicing these things for over a month, like, yeah, and just see how, if I can continue to gradually get better. There's the cat again. Okay, so I'm going to talk about first a couple things that my doctor had told me to do, both traditional Chinese medicine doctor and a normal doctor. And I'm gonna save my favorite thing that helps me so much. I'm gonna save that for the end, okay? So stay tuned. So the first thing that I want to talk about is during the day, what I do. No coffee after 12. I love coffee so much, and I have to have a cup of coffee in the morning, and it just makes me feel so good just to sit, and especially with my Mora mug. Let me get it. This is my Mora mug, and I have these are, by the way, if you don't know, I am the co-owner of Mora Ceramics, so these are our mugs that we designed, and I just love them so much. They're double-walled. And we are making more collections right now, so feel free to check us out at moraceramics.com. But anyways, I love to have my coffee in the morning. I think I still have some in here. Nice. And it just makes me feel really good. But if I have coffee like after 12, or if I have 3 cups of coffee, it's no good for me. I'm very sensitive to caffeine, so I cannot have coffee after 12. I do have tea. Maybe if I'm really tired and I need to pick me up, I'll maybe have tea at around 12 or 1 or 2, but I don't have tea after 3 o'clock. And it's just a personal rule for me. You can create your own rules if you're a little caffeine sensitive. Okay, next on this list, I have no naps longer than 25 minutes. I'm pausing like this because this is so hard for me to do. I love naps, and I feel like I get my best sleep in a nap, and I know it's off. Like, my sleeping schedule is off when I feel this way, because I can fall asleep in a nap like that, and I dream. I have these really deep dreams, and I'm like going down into inception when I take these naps. So I know I need to change that. Like, I wish I could sleep like that at night. So if you nap longer than 25 minutes, your body can start to go into the REM cycle, and then you get really deep sleep. For me, my problem was I was sleeping for 25 minutes. I'd set my alarm, and then I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, I can't wake up. So I would snooze. And then sometimes I'd hit the wrong button. I wouldn't hit snooze. I would just hit off, and I could sleep for a good 3 hours in a day. No problem. So I don't know why that is with me. I'm sure, this daytime sleepiness has a lot to do with depression and anxiety, and let's be honest, I'm dealing with it. I'm trying my best, to function and to cope with these and get out of it. I do take medication, by the way. But some medication, like sleep medication, if I do take that, it makes it really hard for me to wake up in the morning, because you sleep deeply, but you actually don't get in your REM sleep, so you're not actually feeling rested. So yeah, I need to really improve on this. But yeah, my naps, I try really hard I do set my alarm for 25 minutes, and if I feel like I need to sleep more, I just force myself to wake up and maybe have like some water or even like a piece of chocolate or something, just to kind of wake you up, and then go outside, get some sunshine, let your body know that it's daytime and that you need to be awake. They also say don't take more than 1 nap a day. So, and you shouldn't nap after 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, something like that. So I try to get my nap in at around noon. Okay. The next one, I already mentioned this, but get some sunshine in the day. Our bodily clocks, if that's a word, in the day, I talked about this with eating food. Like, our bodies are designed for 24-hour days. So in order to help our bodily clocks know what time it is, it needs to get sunshine. And, a good 15 minutes of rays also improve your vitamin D levels. Let me look at my notes about vitamin D. I wrote a blog article on moraceramics.com if you want to check it out. It's basically the same topic, but I feel like on YouTube I get a little bit more personal than the blog. But the blog is also pretty personal. Depends on my mood. Okay, but anyways, I say here, according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, several studies reported that vitamin D receptors were expressed in brain areas that regulate the sleep-wake cycle. Okay, so basically when we get vitamin D in our bodies, the receptors, knowing that we're getting the vitamin D and the when we absorb the vitamin D, those regulate the sleep and wake cycle. So if we're having a hard time falling asleep and having a hard time waking up, it may mean that we're not getting enough vitamin D. Okay, and then it said several observational studies showed the association between vitamin D deficiency and sleep disorders. So if you feel like you have a sleep disorder, maybe you should check out your vitamin D level. And it's been really cloudy here in Taipei. Sorry, it's super noisy if you can hear the motorcycles. I live in the city and the motorcycles get loud. But it's been really cloudy here lately, so I do feel like I need to maybe get out there when there is sun and just get some rays in my brain. And then also going along with this, at night we need to stay away from our cell phones, because our cell phones have that lighting that affects our brains, kind of tricking our brains, making it think that it's daytime. This is also another thing I struggle with. My phone is like, it helps me wind down and relax. So I need, my goal and what I do practice and what I will continue practicing is to give yourself a time where you cut off your phone time and then start reading from a paper book and doing some other things to help you relax, which I'll talk about later. Okay, my next thing is exercise. Exercise definitely is linked to a good night's sleep, but my bad thing that I've always done ever since I was a child was exercise at night. Because as a child, I was a gymnast, and often practice was after school. And so when you do gymnastics at night, you come home, you take a shower, you maybe eat something, it's late. And it takes a long time to wind down. And I've done gymnastics, like I did that for a job in the States. I was a gymnastics teacher, so I didn't get home till super late. And then now in school, before I graduated here in Taiwan, I loved to do gymnastics at the gymnasium, which was also after class, after work. So you'd come home late. So, and then, when you're all wound up and like you just worked out, you get these endorphins and it's really hard to wind down. So, that's my new goal. I haven't even started this goal yet of exercising before dinner time. I haven't started yet because it's so deeply entrenched in me that I need some processing time as far as trying to fit it in my schedule before dinner. I'm like, how can I fit that in? There's no way. So if you have any tips on how to exercise before dinner, let me know, because I've tried exercising in the morning when I first wake up and I'm so tired, like in the middle of the day, and in the evening I'm like, oh, I need to sleep, because I think my body's already in that routine of like sleeping after exercise. So I don't know, I need help in this area. Please help me. Comment below and give me some advice. Okay, next up, reduce your stress. And I say this because reducing your stress, there's little stressors that you may have before you sleep. Like you may be laying there, at least this is me. I'm laying there and I can't sleep, and then my brain starts to wander. And then I think, oh, did I pay my bill for last month's electricity? I don't think so. Where is that bill? Oh, I think that bill is in my purse. Or is it as a bookmark in my book on the coffee table? And then I just start to think about it, and it's giving me anxiety in my chest. I have a hard time breathing then, and like you just get nervous, right? So just little things like that, little tiny stressors, like, oh, did I ever text that person back? If I didn't text her back, would she be mad at me right now? Or would she understand? What did she even ask me? I think she asked me a question. And then, I go back and look at my phone, and then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't text her now because she'll be sleeping. And it's just very, unnecessary things to worry about. So what I do is I make a list every day, a to-do list, and I write it down on a little sticky note. I use a sticky note because before I used to use a really big piece of paper. And I would fill that piece of paper up with so many things to do. And I, of course, couldn't finish them all. And it's like, no wonder why I didn't feel accomplished that day, because I couldn't cross off everything on the list. And you kind of feel almost like a failure. It's setting yourself up for failure, and it's a negative way to treat yourself. So Now I just use a tiny little sticky note and I write down, this one actually has extra stuff today. This is more than the norm. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This has 11 tasks to do, which are actually, these tasks are pretty big tasks. So I wouldn't recommend 11. See, I'm setting myself up for failure. But at least having a sticky note limits the size and it limits you to not have so many things to do. But anyways, try and think about the little things that you might start worrying about at night before you go to bed and write them down. And then just get it done. Finish it in the day so that you don't have to worry about it at night. So that is how I reduce my stress before I go to bed. Okay, next one, pressure points. So this is going to be super fun. This was something I learned this week. Jerry helped me do some research. This is according to traditional Chinese medicine. I'm going to scroll down here on my notes. Hold on. Okay, so these are acupressure points. So it's the same system for using acupuncture. But if you press these areas of your body, like with your fingertip or like do some massage methods, it also gets into that system of acupressure and it can help you in certain ways depending on the body part. Okay, so first I'm looking at my notes here. You can also find these pictures on my blog, okay, at moraceramics.com under Mora Stories. Okay, so we have the Shenmen, which I'm not going to try and translate that in English, but basically you press this point for 30 seconds and then alternate to the other hand continuously. And it's claimed to calm and soothe the nerves. Okay, so it's here. Here's your hand. I have very long fingers, I know. And then it's on your pinky side of your wrist here. And it's under, so if you have these bones here, it's under the bone. And it's above this bone. So if you can find like where the two bones meet on the side here. So it's, I can feel it right here. And there's a really good picture that's on my website. So you pinch this for 30 seconds, and if you don't want to do 30 seconds, you can do like 5 seconds even. But yeah, and if you relax the hand, I just realized that it's very, you can really tell where that part is. So you pinch that, and I'm going to switch hands so it's on my pinky side, in between, yeah, if you relax, it's really easy to find, in between the two bones here. Oh, it kind of hurts there. Okay, so press there. All right, so let's just pretend I did that and I alternated, and you can do it up to 5 minutes, okay? The next one is the 内关. 内关, you need to press this acupressure point every 5 seconds and rotating hands for 5 minutes, and this helps relieve pain, heart palpitations, this is what I struggle with, chest tightness, okay, yes, me, and insomnia. Okay, so this is the one for me. This is on your wrist again. I'm going to take my watch off. But it's actually on the thumb side of the wrist. If you have this bone here that divides, it's on the thumb side. And then it's 2 finger points. Like if you take the palm of your hand and measure by 2 finger points, and then it's right there. So under those 2 finger points. And you press here. It actually says to press with the tip of your thumb, like that. Okay, so you press, ooh, I'm feeling a little pain. They say if it hurts, it means you're kind of weak in that area. So maybe, you know, like you do have heart palpitations and stuff, you'll be able to tell if you're more weak if it hurts there. Okay, so 5 seconds only. All right, so then my other hand, the thumb side, 2 fingers down. I think it's right about there. Oh yeah, I feel it, definitely. So if you feel like that little bone, or that, I think it's a bone, it's on the thumb side of that bone. So yeah, 5 seconds rotating, and that will calm your, help heart palpitations, chest tightness, and insomnia. Okay, the next one, it's on the foot. This will be fun. This acupressure point is very small, so you need to use a closed pen tip to get to it. Press down and hold the point for 3 seconds. Then tap the point 7 times. Repeat on the other foot for about 5 minutes. This is claimed to help calm a restless mood, okay? I'm gonna get a pen tip here. Here's one. So it just means like, you know, this pen tip here, you don't do it like this, obviously. You just have the dull end here without the pen coming out. And this is Maybe I'll just put this picture up here. I think that'd be better. I'm not gonna show you guys my feet. Okay, so it's kind of where the big toe bone goes all the way up and the second toe bone before they meet. Okay, I totally found it. Owie, and you press it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 3 seconds, did it wrong. And then 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you repeat on the other side. All right, the next one is the top of the toe. I love the top of the toe. Toe is head in Chinese. The top of the head. This one I love. It feels really good. So you need to press this point with your thumb knuckle right here 10 times to soothe the nerves and calm emotions. So it's kind of like if you draw a line from the ears, a straight line to like almost the crown of your head. Here's the crown of your head and here's your forehead. So it's like in between right there. So you take your thumb knuckle and you just press it here. And I think, what does it say? 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it kind of hurts. Honestly, it kind of hurts. And they also say you can take a comb and just like brush your head a bunch of times, like 30 times, to kind of stimulate that spot. But I myself really like the thumb knuckle thing. And you can keep, you can do more than 10 if you want. All right, last one. This is the bottom of the foot. And this point aids in sleep quality, heart palpitations, and headaches. I'm so thankful that my husband helped me find these acupressure points. And it's really fun to try. Like when I did these before bed, you do feel really good. And it did help me calm down. So sometimes I'm just too lazy to do them, and then because I'm too lazy to do them, I, don't feel relaxed. But if you take the time to do this, let me know if it helps your sleep quality, because for me it does. All right, so this spot is on the bottom of your foot, the ball of your foot. You kind of have 2 spots, right? Like under your big toe and under your 3 toes here. I'll put this picture up. And it's right in the middle there underneath. And I'm using the pen thing again, but I'm using the back side of the pen this time. And you press there. This article didn't tell me how to press, so I just like press it maybe like 10 times and then switch. Okay? So those are the acupressure points that I found successful. There were some other ones, but it got to be too long, and some were more for giving you energy. And I'm like, I don't need more energy. I need to, maybe that's for during the day when you're tired. Oh, I should try that. But anyways, these are for helping you fall asleep. Okay, next thing. I think this is the last thing. Oh no, not yet. We have my bedtime before bed routine. I almost forgot about this. And then I'll talk about my favorite thing. So my before bed routine helps me so much, just for my brain to know that it's time to relax, time to go to bed. I shower every night. I know a lot of you guys shower in the morning, but in Taiwan, you kind of have to shower at night because it's so dirty outside. I feel like you go out and you just feel dusty coming back home. I don't know, maybe it's just in my head. But I think the humidity too, it kind of makes you feel sticky. So I definitely shower. And when I shower, I like to use essential oils and have like the hot shower kind of like diffuse the oils into the air, and it feels so good. And you can breathe it in and have the oils like go into your lungs and into your bloodstream. And it's like my favorite spa night. I can have a spa night every single night, and I love it so much. Okay, so next, after I shower, I also make sure I do like my skincare. So I do a cleanser, I exfoliate every 3 days. I like to do a clay mask if I'm feeling a little dull. And then I do a toner, and then I do an ampoule, and then I do an a serum, and then I do a moisturizer and eye cream. So I have a lot going on in my skincare routine. And some people call me high maintenance, and some people say those things don't really work. But after I've done these for a good solid week even, my skin has cleared up so much, and I've been doing this now for months. And I love it. It makes me feel good, so why not? Sorry again about those super loud motorcycles. I need to get better sound equipment, and I will soon. Okay, next I might sit down on my couch and drink some herbal tea, and I like to read. First I'll read something that I need to work on, like right now I'm currently reading this book. It's kind of like a formula or a management system when you start a new business. So I like to read something a little bit boring. And then I also read the Bible before bed. It helps me stay in the right frame of mind, helps me stay on track, helps me relax my brain, and helps me get sleepy. So it's really good. Just, it helps me also spiritually. I like to stay on track spiritually as well and have some goals in mind. So reading the Bible every night also helps calm me down. Okay, so that is my bedtime routine. Okay, so next, my last very favorite thing that helps me so much, I'm so excited to share it with you. It's called PMR. If you've heard of PMR, comment now, because I don't know who has heard of this before, and it's been here for a long time. I think since the 90s or something, and I feel like I'm the only one who knows about it. I'm sure I'm not. Okay, so basically what PMR is called progressive muscle relaxation. And I love this so much because when I go to bed at night, I'm often laying here and I feel like, oh, my neck isn't comfortable. And I feel like I fluff my pillow so it's not my pillow, and I can't sit still. And I have restless leg syndrome often if I don't go running that day. So I hate myself at bedtime because I can't sit still. And so what progressive muscle relaxation does is you take one body part at a time and flex the muscles and get really tense for maybe 10 seconds as you're breathing in. And then as you breathe out, you relax those muscles. So you start with your face muscles, which I'm not gonna do my face muscles because you look so scary. I look so scary when I do it. I'm gonna start with my neck. So first you start with your face. Inhale, exhale, release the muscles, and then you do your neck and shoulders. So you squinch them up for 10 seconds as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you slowly relax them down, and they almost get this kind of little tingly, relaxed feeling. And then for me, they don't feel like they have to move again. And I do this when I'm laying down. And then I do my arms and my hands. I like to do one hand at a time if I'm really, I have to sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. I like to do one hand at a time if I'm feeling really stressed. And then you move down to your abs, your bum, your legs, your calves. Oh, sorry. Allergies. And then your feet. I point my feet and really squinch them, if that's a word, and then I just relax them. And it's also a breathing exercise, so it helps with, breathing and circulation, but it really, really helps relax the muscles. So if you are interested in trying PMR, I think there's quite a lot of information on YouTube about it. You can look it up. But I think PMR has helped me tremendously. So yeah, I think that's it. There you have it. That is all I have to say about my sleeping and trying to use sleep as a self-care method. It's hard. Does anyone else struggle with sleep? If you do, please share me your story because I need some encouragement. No, this has really helped this week, but I definitely need to keep on practicing it. So stay tuned also for next week. Next week, I'm moving on to exercise. I feel like these three, eating, sleep, and exercise, are so important to physical self-care. So that's why I'm tackling it right away. But I'm excited to get into the more fun things like nails and skin and hair. But yeah, stay tuned for next week about exercise. If you have any questions on exercise, let me know, and I'll research it and we'll talk about it in my next video. Also, like I said, feel free to check us out at More Ceramics. And also check me out on Instagram. I like to do a lot of stories on Instagram, do lots of live raw footage, so it's really fun. I get more personal on there. And if you liked this video and want to continue watching my self-care series, please subscribe and also give this video a like. And yeah, I think that's it. I love you all. Have a great day. Goodbye.